Phil.
Nick. What's happening?
Episode 32. That's what's
32.
happening.
Sandy Kofax, number 32.
Dodger legend, number 32.
Absolutely. Did you see that analysis in the other day with Kershaw and Kofax?
I did not.
Yeah, they had Kershaw, all his stats, a Kofax stat, and Kershaw's got better stats,
Mm-hmm.
a little more longevity. But you know what they didn't put up there is complete games.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's not in
different
there.
time.
Well, no, I understand, but that was what's very impressive about Kofax was
They were expected to pitch the whole game.
they didn't have a relief pitch until they had like Phil Reagan,
The
vulture. They called him the vulture.
How big were the rosters back then? If they only had, 5 people in the rotation and
Well, they still had 25 or 24 or 26. They
just
still had
just more position players? Is that it?
Yeah, and they had I guess the alternate starters, guys that pitched like 5 or 6 innings if somebody got in trouble, but they didn't have a
No wonder why Kofax only lasted like half a decade.
Exactly.
They pitched him to death.
One year, Jim Palmer had 29 complete games.
There's probably not even 29 complete games in the whole league.
There might not be 10.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's just like saying, the Roman Empire was at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, they had Phil Reagan was the guy. They called him the vulture because, Kofax would pitch a game to be 1-1 tie in the 9th, and he come out of the game or in the 10th, and Reagan would come in, the Dodgers win 2-1, he'd get the win.
That's like the guy in hockey that sits right by the net.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Just waiting for the rebound.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they call him, the vulture. So, yeah.
Got a very techie show today, don't we?
My head's gonna explode. It's so techie.
This is techie. I never seen you so techie. You're harnessing all the powers.
My inner tech.
Yeah. Dave says hi, Phil.
Who?
Dave. His weekly hi, Phil.
Oh, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Dave.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people in already, huh?
I got 109. And you know what? We haven't even posted the link yet.
You better post that because somebody's going to ask you at the end of the show. I didn't know there was a giveaway. What was the link?
Oh, man. If you don't know by now.
We got the wheel. Let's do a practice spin.
Practice spin?
Yeah, I take chamois for 30.
I'm taking triple roller. Actually, I'm going clear magic. I'm going purple. Clear magic.
I'm going chamois. Chamois for the practice spin. I hit it last week.
Oh!
I just missed it again.
Grip sack. All right. Well, that's what we have in store for all y'all.
So I guess you moved the weight on the bottom over one.
Yeah, that's right. No, I have to cut out of the stream first before I can do that. That's legit.
True. Yeah, well, you do that every week. You get out. You get. Oh my God, you did that one.
We're giving away one spin today to a lucky viewer live on the show later.
That's right.
I posted the link, WooBox link. Go ahead and get entered. We'll post it a few more times during the show so that everybody has a chance to get entered to win a chance to win something amazing.
Guy took my time on the garbage truck. He took 3:34. That's my time. I have 3:24. I already lock in 2:24 my time. I mean 2:34 my time is my time. You can't have that.
I'm going 36 after. All right. 36 after the hour. Trash man's coming.
Mine is always 34. So Donnie, you can't.
You just said 24.
34.
34.
Yeah, I'm always 34.
I got 36.
All right.
That's my pick.
Yeah. So anyway, today we have a couple of good things to talk about. One is the ball motion. The phases of ball motion, what the numbers mean with RGs and differentials. Mm-hmm. And then the other one's talking about the HK22 hybrid ZigZag.
Yeah, new ball launch.
First night, last night. I don't want to get into for the Lord of the Zings had a big night, but I'll talk about that later. Lord of the Zings is Seth Gosson. He's our ball tester. He has a couple of names. Lord of the Zings, Seth Squatch.
He's going to be rolling. He's rolling zigzags already.
Telling you, yesterday picked it up at noon and drilled it, and we had fun with it last night. So,
what? His test ball wasn't good enough, or didn't have logos?
Didn't have a logo on it.
Oh, okay.
First batch, and I got them in, and I forgot I had them. So I texted him in the morning and said, "Hey, that ZigZag is approved today. Why don't you come by and get it?" He did, drilled it. So
Didn't you play a prank on him though?
I did. All right, let's tell the prank story.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so Seth, I see him right after. Well, I see him right before league. He says, "Man, I drilled the ZigZag and I threw it up at the center before I got here, and that was really well. Great, I'm gonna throw it tonight." So the first game league starts, and somebody comes down and says, "Seth's throwing that new ball looks really good." I said, "What do you shoot?" He said, "Shot 260." So I said, "Wow." So I start walking down, and I get about a lane and a half away, 2 lanes away, and he's got the ball up on the back table behind the settee, showing it to somebody.
Showing it off already.
How he drilled it and why he drilled it that way, and because it really looked really good the first game. So as I get closer, I go, "Seth, are you throwing the ZigZag tonight?" He goes, "Yeah, I shot 260." I go, "I told you it wasn't approved till tomorrow." And of course, all the pairs around him stopped. It got eerily quiet. And the guy he's bowling against, Lorenzo, is one of our advisory staffers for Brunswick, and he videoed Seth the whole night, just about. He's got a post up with 26 of Seth's shots, and he goes, "I got proof he threw it. We're going to file a protest." And now Seth gets a little red in the face, and he goes, "I looked it up. It's on the list." I said, "Seth, I just got an email saying that it got delayed a day. I can't believe."
Oh, it says right here.
I can't believe you threw it.
I got the approved list. That's not true. That's not true.
So at the end of the night, he goes and gets the form to fill out for the 800.
Yeah.
And people are sitting around. Other people who had not heard me say that come down. And I go, "Seth, you can't turn that in. I told you it wasn't approved." And the people around them are looking at him like he did something wrong. They're Seth.
Yeah, he struck a lot. He had a step ladder 800. That's pretty rare.
Yeah, 66, 67, 68.
Yep.
That's pretty rare.
801.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Hey. 801.
You're only good for 260, I guess, with that ball, Seth.
But I'm so happy he did, because the second game, he and I were doubles partners, and we won the blind draw doubles. So, which is pretty good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 801. I mean, first night out, I guess.
Small 8.
Whatever.
8.
I think there's going to be bigger numbers with that ball.
No, I agree. The ball's fantastic. We'll talk about that ball in the second part of the show today and why it's so different.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about, why don't you show everybody that thing again, the post, so they know what to do about
what thing?
The thing, the first thing.
What thing? The link?
The link.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, or if you haven't watched our show, we're having a giveaway every show now. But what are we giving away, Phil?
Something that's on the wheel. We have a wheel.
We don't know because
we don't know. We have a wheel, and
we're giving
a wheel of fortune.
A lucky viewer one spin, and you're gonna win a prize. All sorts of great prizes on here. You got chamois, new bowling balls, backpack, clear magic.
Week was the shoes, right? Shoes last week.
Yeah, they took some Brunswick Fury shoes.
So good.
I got to get set up. So I'm going to post the link one more time. Then we're going to get into our little mini seminar.
Yep, exactly.
That technical Philly C, McTechie C.
Techie C.
Did. And we're going to get right into it.
So I get a lot of questions, and the problem with the internet is you have information, but a lot of it's not translated, or if you don't understand it, is you write something and you get 25 different answers. So I'm going to go over some of the numbers, how I see them, and how I interpret their impact to ball performance. So any day
we'll
now.
Start right out.
All right.
Can you read all that?
I can, except for the part where I'm in the bottom, but that's okay. So ball motion has 3 phases, right? It has a skid phase, and that's dictated by surface and RG. Then it has a hook phase dictated by the differentials, total diff and intermediate diff, and then a roll phase. And that's at the end of the pattern when it starts to roll forward. If it rolls forward too early, that's bad. We'll just keep that in mind for later. The 2 forces of energy that impact ball motion is rotational energy. That's the side turn or the spin that you apply to the ball. And transitional energy, which is the ball going in the direction towards the pins. Straight part of the ball motion. But when rotational energy and transitional energy get closer together, the ball starts to roll forward. And if they get to become equal, the ball rolled out. So when your rotational energy and your transitional energy become the same, the ball's rolling forward. Okay, so we keep that in mind as we go forward and talk about this. The RGs directly relate to the spin rate of the ball. High RG spins slower, low RG spins quicker. Years ago, we used to use the figure skater as an example. You know, the guy starts to spin, or the girl, and they have their arms out. And then as they bring their arms closer, they start to spin faster. So think of your bowling ball as a skater, and the one with the arms closer is a lower RG ball, and the ones with the arms out are a higher RG ball. You want your ball to rev up quicker, look for lower RG numbers. You know, so people that are speed dominant, you know, and they want the ball to go into a roll, look for low RG numbers as a start. That they don't have a big of an impact maybe on the ball performance as they did years ago, because we have a lot more knowledge about total diff and intermediate diffs, and also the cover stocks. But lower RGs, like I said a little while ago, the mass is closer to the geometric center of the ball. It's center heavy. Conversely, the high RG balls have cover heavy. We'll do questions later on all of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the total differential, that's the big number, the big diff number, dictates the flare potential of the ball. It's very simple. You get a ball with an 0.55 differential, that's going to flare a lot. It's got a high diff. It reads the friction sooner and harder. So that means when it hits dry, it's going to start to flare a lot. Low diff balls are more subtle, and they're not as sensitive to the friction. There's more of a gradual change in direction. So differentials tell you how soon the ball will react to the friction and how much hook potential the ball will have. So you start looking at, for instance, my favorite ball is the Intel's 0.35 diff.
It is?
It is, isn't it? I'm sure it is. And that's moderately low. The sneak attack is about the same, but before that, the counter attack and the rack attack was in the teens, and the counter attack was in the 20s.
Yeah, I think they're 0.21-ish, and then
something like
0.24
that.
somewhere in there.
Correct. So you know, those are the things you have to look at. It just tells you how much it's going to react to friction and how much hook potential. So based on the style of bowler, you take a good look at your differentials. If you're a slow speed player, without regard to what your rev rate is, you want to look at a lower differential ball with a higher RG, because it'll get it down the lane much easier.
Right.
And total diffs impact the rotational phase of the ball motion. You know, if it's a higher differential ball, the rotational phase is going to have more hook potential. So you have to be careful when you start to select diffs. Now, the intermediate diff is the tricky part. The intermediate diff impacts the length of the hook phase. So you remember the ball goes skid, hook, roll. And the length of the hook phase is impacted by, if you look at the intermediate diff, because the higher intermediate diff shorten the hook phase, which means that the ball will start to go into that transition where the rotational and transition will start to become equal, and the ball will roll out because you shorten the hook window. So high intermediate differentials will shorten the hook window and get the ball into a roll phase quicker. The sooner the ball gets into a roll phase, the more potential the ball has to roll out. So what you want to avoid, if you're a low speed player or a rev dominant player, you want to be careful with the intermediate diff, because you don't want those two to get close to each other, transitional, rotational. And you shorten that hook window a lot when you use high intermediate diffs. So therefore, the ball will end up rolling out, and you can flat 10 a lot and not understand why. It's because that ball has been done hooking and is now in the roll phase. Lower intermediate diffs have a longer hook window, less likely to roll out. They have a more gradual reaction. So they're not going to be like the quick snap off the spot as much as a higher intermediate diff ball would have.
Right. Typically more of a sweeping motion on the back.
Correct.
And typically more continuation to the pins because it's still hooking. You'll see
exactly
more impact angle in relation to the entry angle. Where a ball with a higher intermediate typically will have a very high entry angle, but the impact angle won't be as dramatic compared to that number.
And if you look at our videos, when we do the throwbot videos, we always talk about impact angle and entry angle, and the bigger the difference, with the exception
of this last one.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, you're right. So
that ball should have been called incognito.
Exactly right. So just comparing the two, and I think this is our last slide. Symmetrical balls have a longer hook window and a more gradual transition through the three phases of skid, hook, and roll, because they have a lower intermediate diff after drilling. You know, what is that?
Is that the trash man already at 3:16? 16 minutes? Who had 16 minutes after the hour?
Maybe there'll be two of them today.
Gosh.
They're a little early today. Let me go find out why. No, so
go out there. It's like, you're not supposed to be here for another 20 minutes.
Wait, stop. Right. So the hook and roll, the skid hook and roll is a sort of a slower transition, because after drilling you have some intermediate differential in a symmetrical ball. You know, it may start out at 0.00, under 0.008 is considered symmetrical for an intermediate diff. When you drill it, you might get up to 0.012 or 0.013 or 0.14. So you do have some intermediate diff even on symmetrical balls after they're drilled. Now, and again, if you think about an asymmetrical ball motion, like Nick said, a lot of times it's more sweeping. You'll get some hook down lane, but it's not as quick and usually not as sharp as an asymmetrical ball. When you look at an asymmetrical ball, they have shorter hook windows and they go through the phases quicker. They have a shorter skid phase and a quicker hook phase. Based on the intermediate differential, the hook window can be very short. Now, the problem with that is if you're a low speed player or a higher rev player and you don't match speed and rev rate, a lot of times that window gets so short that you'll hit the pocket, what you think is a flush shot, and it'll leave you 10 pins forever.
Yeah, they call it hook stop.
Hook stop, right. And that's not always good unless it stopped in the right spot.
At the perfect angle.
Perfect angle, right.
It can work on certain patterns, on shorter patterns where
absolutely.
you're already playing far out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the bowling balls historically that have had a higher intermediate diff, the low rev, low speed player has struggled more often than not.
Correct.
Because the ball is just too much. It picks up and it changes direction and it goes forward. So that's very hard to strike, especially when you're lower speed.
And that's why we talk about a lot in our videos about the low speed, low rev player drilling a pin down.
Yes.
Asymmetrical.
To take some of that intermediate out, take some of that total differential out and make it stay on its axis a little bit longer and have a little bit more down lane. Yeah,
the key is to have it stay on its axis rotation longer. And then a slightly longer, like I said, it goes very short. It's a high intermediate differentials. It's slightly longer or lower intermediate differentials. And you got to look at, when you're about to drill that ball, look at the drill sheets in all our boxes. And a lot of times and every time it'll tell you what the intermediate diff is after drilling.
Yeah, that's important. That's the most important right there.
Yeah, the after drilling number.
Because you'll see with, especially like the ZigZag, the numbers change quite a lot with the two drillings.
They do, exactly. And that was the key.
Started with 045, went up to 057, or it dropped to the 030s.
Right. So, yeah, you want to look at drill sheets, especially our drill sheets have all of the after drilling numbers. I just wanted to put this up real quick so you get an understanding of what it means when we say about a ball, having a shorter hook window. And not so much what it means, but what causes it. And when you talk to bowlers about it, they say, well, I want to bowl a hook a lot. Okay, and that's fine. But what do you want it to do down lane? And how does that fit in your game? Using an aggressive cover will get the ball a hook more, but it'll also shorten your hook window. You'll have a bigger sweeping hook, but it'll start to burn up as it gets closer to the pins, especially if you're covering more boards. You have to understand that too, is that if you're throwing the ball, swinging the ball a lot, it's covering more boards. It's peeling off, bleeding off energy as it goes.
Right.
That's how it slows down. If it slows down too quickly, you've shortened that hook window so much so that now the transitional and the rotational energies are the same, and that ball rolls out. And that's a perfect recipe for a flat 10.
That's when you need to change balls or throw it different or move.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about this later on and take some questions on it.
Yeah.
Remind people about the giveaway.
What giveaway? We're
The
doing a
one that
giveaway?
we always do. We always do a giveaway.
We're doing a
Last
giveaway,
week,
guys.
last week somebody won a pair of shoes.
Pair of shoes.
Pair
Who's
of
got a new pair of
shoes.
shoes? So
Daddy
every
needs a new
week
pair of shoes. There we go.
We invented this prize wheel, by the way.
We invented the wheel.
We invented the wheel on this show, believe it or not.
In bowling. We invented the
So-
wheel in bowling show.
We're going to be giving away to somebody one spin. They're going to get a spin, and they could win a 3-ball arsenal, which is right there. They
Wow,
could
look
land
how
in
wide
little-
that area is.
Hey, it's a big prize. I mean, if you think about it, 3-ball arsenal, and we're going to give you a tote with it.
No, we're not. Are we?
Yes.
Well, you got to carry them. That's true.
We're going to give them a tote.
That's like
Yeah,
the grand
dude.
prize.
That is a grand prize. It's a major award.
And if you send that check to Phil, we can
All
make
right.
sure it ends up on that. No, never mind.
I posted the WooBox link one more time. We'll post it a few
All right.
more times. It's only 21 after the hour.
Yeah,
So
we got time.
we'll be doing the drawing at the end of the show after we talk about all the great things and take your questions and show everything that we got to show today. So
Why is it called the Woo Box?
that's just the name of the company that.
Oh,
hosts-
okay.
Yeah.
It's a dumb name.
Sorry, I'll write them a strongly worded letter on your behalf there, Phil.
Dear Woo Box guy.
Dear Mr. Box.
Mr. Box.
I do not like Woo.
I hate Woo with a passion.
Woo suck. I'm going to go down some comments here
Mr.
because
Woo. Okay, yeah, let's do some comments.
we're
real
going to
quick.
catch up. So speaking of flare and high differential,
Mhm.
Wayne says the hitter's crazy. I never had a ball with so much motion. Have it drill 45, 4 1/4, 35. Love it. I do believe he posted a picture in a couple of the groups that had the flare going across the
I did see
entire
that.
ball.
Yeah. And again, it's a combination of flare, total diff, and intermediate diff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have a lower intermediate diff on that hitter. I
Yeah.
think it's 15 or something around there, right? I don't think it's much higher than that.
I mean, you made it. We can find out. You might find out.
I mean, I remember it. That's why you have paper and pencil. You write stuff down.
Well, did you write it down?
I did, but not where I could reach it right now. I said it was 015, but the RG is low. So you have a low RG, you have a high diff, and a low intermediate diff. So you're going to get a lot of mid lane and a smoother motion down lane. So it's going to give the ball a chance to flare. You know, it'll rev up pretty quick for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
Isaiah says he's thinking about going to a 14. He throws 16, afraid that 15 is too little of a jump, so I want to go to 14. Any ideas? I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, obviously, you want to talk to your pro shop, have them watch you throw a few shots if you can. The nice thing about 14-pound is the core in a 14 is the same as a 16 in most every case, especially in radical balls.
Yep.
They're all the same. So you're getting all that same technology and the same cover. So, yeah. If you can't handle 16, go. I mean, 1 pound is still a lot, so don't discount 15 right off the bat. But
correct.
If you just threw 16 and you're really struggling with it, let your pro shop watch you throw, and he'll be able to give you a better suggestion.
Maybe he'll have a ball he can replug and let you throw 15 for a little while, and not worry much about the ball motion. Worry about how it feels in your hand. You know, I mean, if it's just a plug ball, and just let him drill it wherever it is and go throw it, see how it feels.
Dave wants to know, what's the over-under on Phil dropping an F-bomb this show? I don't think he's gonna.
No.
He has a better chance of spilling the next name of the next release after this.
The next 5 releases.
Than he does dropping the F-bomb.
No. If it was going to happen, it would have happened a few shows ago when we talked about the durometer and the purple hammer.
You should just do it in like just curse in Italian so it doesn't. It's not as bad.
Somebody will have those things on their phone. They'll translate it, right?
I mean, maybe we are live, so it'd be pretty hard for him to do that right on the get go.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh man, Greg already ordered a ZigZag, waiting for it to arrive. Sorry we're making you wait so long. We just announced it yesterday. It comes out on the 7th, of December.
That's right.
So,
December 7th, a couple of weeks.
Yeah, couple of weeks. Yep, as in
weeks.
couple of almost 4 weeks.
It's a couple of 3-4 weeks.
Hey, you'll have Thanksgiving dinner. You know, you won't even think about it.
Next
And you'll be
week,
like,
you're going, man. You know what? Another 2 weeks, I have my ball.
You're gonna do all your shopping for Christmas on Black Friday. Then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I get a ball next week. Awesome.
That's right. That's perfect.
See? It'll be here before you know it.
In a couple of 4 weeks.
Big Easy said, I'm the hardest working band in bowling. Do you believe that? Do you concur there, Phil?
Who's he talking about? You?
That's what he said right there.
Yeah, well, I'm not even going to comment on that. So, no, Nick does a good job. He works very hard.
So do laundry. So do washing machines.
Yeah, whatever. That's right.
Hey guys, just watch a review on the hitter.
Do your job. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My lane side reviews. They commented on how fast the hitter lane shine and started to labor off the spot. Have you seen this in your usage?
I have not. I have not seen that. I hadn't seen the lane side reviews yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see that at all. I've been throwing mine.
Yeah, you've been throwing yours more than I've thrown mine. So
I've been throwing mine as much as I can because I like it, and it's not having a problem. Matter of fact, last night I used it for the first 2 games, bowled really good. In the last game, the ball labored because it was burning up, not because it got weaker.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because all your rev rate just chewed up the pattern.
Well, it's 2 lefties on the pair. So
oh no, 2 of them?
2 of them. Mike
you need, you need to make a vote that can't ever happen.
I'm telling you, yeah. So.
The Guitar Joe says, what's the biggest difference you're seeing with the computer design cores and the classically designed cores?
Well, interesting. With the computer design cores, we're able to predict the motion that we want quickly
before you even create
the core, right? You know, the problem is when you have classically designed cores, you're using, you're basing it on your knowledge, your history, what you know, and then maybe you're not getting the after drilling numbers exactly like you wanted, and there's more adjustments involved. With the computer design cores, we're hitting it right out of the bat. We know what we're going to get as soon as we start the concept. Now, it may take a longer time, and maybe we can't get there, so it's not like an infallible situation. You know, if I want to ball a roll like something, and I tell the guy he designs it that way, having a target to hit is a different story. When you don't have a target to hit, then you're like shooting for something, as we did with the ZigZag. It's probably a little more exact than do it classically, so it just makes it easier for us to build that core, and also hitting the after drilling numbers with the core as you're designing it.
Sure.
You know, so it works
out. That is one wild looking core, by the way, and we'll talk about that some more too.
Yeah, that is wild looking, isn't it? Well, there's a reason for all of that stuff, obviously.
I think I think Freshie probably watched some Willy Wonka, you know, the everlasting gobstopper again.
Yeah, he might be. Maybe he's picking out some good ones. He's good at designing them, though. He's really.
He's like, I'm going to design a core like that. It's going to be everlasting ball motion. Ted's giving a little zing to you. He's like, yeah, you're throwing a ball. It's not improved, but give me my blind doubles money. That's right. Pay up.
That's it.
Pay up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lorenzo says, order the ZigZag now.
Yeah, Lorenzo got a close look. Lord of the Zing, Seth was bowling against Lorenzo last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked down and Lorenzo's eyes lit up when I said the ball was not legal yet.
Get him,
Lorenzo. Don't let him get away with it. But he did a great job for us. Lorenzo did. He recorded all of Seth's shot. Well, he got 26 of them of Seth's shots, and then he posted it. He posted it today, and I shared it. So it's somewhere out there.
It's only like 85%. What were you doing?
Yeah, right. He's bowling against the guy, and he realized how good the ball looked early and started to record it.
Wow.
You know, yeah. You know, it's amazing when a ball motion matches up for you, how loose your swing will get.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, I watched a lot of those shots, Seth. I mean, you had it. You had the nuts on it.
He did. He did.
Obviously, bowling HPL is probably a high friction surface there. So
yeah.
You get a ball like that, clean.
And he can get it to the spot, and it came off the spot nicely and went through the pins really good.
Yeah, Seth bot.
The set spot, not set squat, set spot.
Seth bot.
Set bot. I like that.
Brandon wants to know, is it possible to show both YouTube and Facebook chats on the screen? Would be cool to see both. No, I'm not able to.
Why? You don't know how to do that?
Well, I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, you can't get a Facebook stream on there. It's just bottom line. So I mean, it's just depending on where you're watching. I think right now YouTube's probably where most everyone is. Let's see what the numbers are. What do you think?
When you see the little red dots next to them, that's that's YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of them. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Let's see. Where are we at on YouTube right now? 147. So we got about 90-ish on Facebook, 147 on YouTube. So yeah, we're definitely more popular on YouTube, aren't we?
We are. How many people have signed up for the contest?
I was just about to find out. What do you think? Right now we got 240 people watching total, 247.
135.
I'm going to post the link one more time because we're doing a giveaway. And what are you going to win? We don't know. We're going to spin to win person.
The wheel.
Last week, Scott Bridgman won a pair of shoes. He picked the Brunswick Furies.
Yep.
We got 196 total entries. So there's some. Oh, maybe the staffers aren't getting in. So that's good. If you're on staff, don't enter.
Hey,
don't do it.
Is Ian on the podcast today?
Who is
Ian? Or is he getting WNBA?
I haven't seen it. I think he went to the parade.
Either that or the card show to get some cards, playing trading cards, WNBA trading cards.
I think he was going down to the arcade to play that new video game, the WNBA Jam. They got a new video game.
He went to the parade. Ian. There we go.
Here we go. Easter says, aha moment for me. Makes a lot of sense why some balls don't work for me. Thank you. You've saved me some money. At least spend it more wisely. Yeah, that's basically it. We're trying to help educate, what balls might work better. I mean, that's why we use 3 different style players. Well, 4 technically.
Right.
In our videos, in our throwbot, with different revs and speed. And then 2 different layouts. So you get all these different variables in there, on a house pattern, which most people bowl on.
Right.
Obviously we design like, oh, well, I don't.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I don't throw it like a robot. Why? I want to see humans. I mean, well, yeah, we show some of those too, but for the sake of demonstration, we're throwing 4 different types of players out there, 2 different layouts. Nobody else does that. So
no. And we don't charge on our podcast. Although the money you saved, you could send us some of it.
Yeah, send in a self-addressed stamped envelope too. Yeah.
When I was a kid, Soupy Sales was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. And I'm older, obviously, and it was a funny show. But anyhow, Soupy Sales puts out one time he does a show and he tells the kids, and his show was on actually the New Year's Day, I think it was, or something like that. It was on the same time every day. And he comes out and he says that now that your mommy and daddy were having a party last night, why don't you go into their wallet and take $5 and mail it to and he gives his address, Soupy Sales, care of WORTV, blah, blah, blah. And he got like $5,000 or $10,000 sent him. And he got fined by the station. They put him on probation. So we're not going to take, well, you can do that if you want, but no, don't. Save that money, buy another Radical ball, and we'll help you drill it, because that's what we do here. We give away free.
That's what we do.
That's right.
John wants to know, he was on a call. He missed part of the show. Is the purple hammer still legal?
You know what? I'm not sure. What is it? Wait.
I'm hearing it in my ear from my producer.
Yeah, I think it is. There it is. And it is still legal, except John's in the way. Oh, there we go. Yes, it is. And people have been asking that question. It's unbelievable. The new hammer, the not urethane blue hammer comes out, selling like crazy. Absolutely a great ball. So great that I'm even looking at the cover stock for maybe something I want to do down the road. But
for some inspiration.
Yeah, but and people are saying, well, are we still selling purple hammers? Absolutely. Unless you're going on tour.
Which is about 50 people, 100 people in the world.
Apparently that's all it really is. You can throw it. So yes, it's still legal for everything you want to do. The 16s and 17s are not legal. Those are the ones that Ebonite built that USBC says you can't throw. in their tournaments. I don't know if you're not allowed to use them in league. I don't even know if that's true. But anyway, the Purple Hammer is still legal. We're still building them, still selling them, taking a lot of orders for them.
Mm-hmm.
The new blue is selling fantastic, which is amazing. It's absolutely, yeah, it's fitting a lot of people's games, and it's not urethane. Remember that.
It's not urethane.
Not urethane. Some of the other companies had balls that were not urethane.
Not selling either.
Not selling either, but they weren't urethane.
Marlon says, you give away so much technical info on bowling. We are already winners by watching. Well, thank you for that.
Yep.
But as an added bonus, we're going to give you the chance to win even more, the knowledge. And knowledge isn't on the wheel. Everybody wins that on a week-to-week
we should put that on there.
Knowledge?
Yeah, you win knowledge. We'd be like the Wizard of Oz. Today we're going to give you a brain.
Oh, wow.
Next week to give you a heart, something like that.
Yeah. We're going to give you a pack of thumb tape that Nick had to use four pieces of. So there's actually 26 pieces.
Well, we appreciate that. That's what we try to do.
Steven, we have after drilling numbers for no thumbers. I've been talking about this for a while, Phil.
I don't know. I gotta look into it.
Gotta look into it.
I gotta look into it.
Obviously, it is something that is on our radar, and obviously, it's going to take a whole different type of drill sheet and all different after drill numbers.
I'm not sure we could put that in a box as opposed maybe just putting it up on the website.
Right. Well,
I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one because I don't know much about it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's not my forte.
Yeah, get it. Get going.
Let me look at it.
You got one job. Go ahead.
You had one job. Yours is to stay on the air the whole time.
I can't promise that.
I know. Obviously, you like meatloaf in it. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Rick wants to know, can you quantify low speed, low rev versus high speed, high rev, given that you give guidance on what RG differential, intermediate differential match up with those numbers?
Yeah, we can a little bit. Low speed, low rev players are probably in the 250s.
250 under.
Is that what you think, Nick?
Yeah, 250 under.
Yeah, it's a low rev.
250 to 350 kind of medium. I think anything over 375 is considered higher rev.
Yeah, and then as far as speed goes, anything under 14 miles an hour would be low speed.
Yeah, even 15 off your hand, I think is going to be lower speed because if you're going to go off of what the pin setters tell you, like on the scoring units, that's measured at the pins.
And that's 3 miles different usually, right?
3 to 4, yeah. So if you're showing 12 on there, you're probably 15 off the hand.
Right.
I had someone message me today or comment on one of my videos saying, hey, I throw it slow. The monitors say it's 14.3 at the pins. And I told him, I'm like, that's not really slow.
That's the average, right?
No, I'm like that. It takes me to throw like over 18 miles an hour to get 14 miles at the pins.
Yeah.
Because the ball slows. Yeah, it's not slow at all. So I'm like, you're just bowling on a lot of dry lanes. So,
but just to say one thing about that, it's not bad. None of it is bad. It's just to identify.
Yeah.
I'm a low speed, low rev player. I'm a low speed, high rev player, and so on. It's not bad because the problem that makes it sound bad is people don't know how to drill for it.
Right.
Or they're not picking the right equipment for it. And that's what we tried to educate
the surface.
You. Exactly, the surface. That's why we tried to do a little education today on that. The key is to just identify what you are and then try to match what you need for that type of bowler that you are, or what you're bowling on, guidance on what RG diff and intermediate diff. So it's just simple. If you're a low speed player, let's talk about speed only. You want to stick to lower RG, higher RG balls.
Mm-hmm.
You want to use
lower differential
and lower differential and lower intermediate diffs. So, you just stay with the lows except for the RG. Low diff, low intermediate diff. You want to have a smoother surface on the ball, less friction on the ball. If you're a high speed player, you want to go the other way. You want to have low RG balls. You want to have high differential balls and high intermediate diff balls. Okay, if you're somewhere in the middle, then you want to use middles. It's simple like that. I know it sounds like it's too elementary, but it is. If you're a match player, you want to use numbers that are sort of like in the middle. You don't want to have a lot of friction on the ball, a lot of surface. You don't want to have super high or super low RGs, and you don't want to have very high differentials because they're only going to hurt you. You know, so as you get towards the more speed, you want bigger differentials, more surface. As you get towards less speed, you want lower differentials and less surface.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There's so many variables there.
Oh, the variables are incredible. I'm just trying to educate a little.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just we can go round for round on every single scenario for every different type of bowler.
Right.
But it comes down to how you throw, your rev rate, your speed, what you're bowling on, how much oil they put on, what part of the lanes you're playing on.
Sure.
What the pattern looks like, where the friction's at, all these things. So the bottom line is getting to the pocket with enough entry angle to carry and go through the pins.
Yeah, you have to understand that a lot of people starting out with the wrong tool. I mean, it's so far out of whack that they can't get there. You know, I mean, people see I want my ball to hook a lot. Well, yeah, but it's where it hooks. You know, so you start out with the wrong tool in your hand, and then you try to fix it, and that's when you bowl bad. So, you know, use some of those guidelines that we talked about to get you started in the right direction.
And Rob from Laneside Reviews, we just reviewed the hitter. That ball just never stops continuing. It was silly how it could recover from anywhere, even for Wayne, our speed-dominant, rev-challenged player.
So, Rob, somebody just said that they watched Laneside Reviews and you guys said Lane shined and didn't recover. So I don't know if what he said was misunderstood or how it was interpreted. But we found the same thing. That ball just never stops continuing. Of all the videos, if you guys get a chance, go back and look at the Throwbot video of the hitter. It was amazing at every shot from every bowler split the 8-9.
Yep, low speed, medium speed, high speed.
We never see that. And that's where I'm glad I invented that pin down drilling for that ball, because that's what I'm using. And it's working. It's working so well.
He does one technical PowerPoint in the history of the world, and now he's invented the pin down layout. Everybody, yes.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something.
Tell me. Go ahead.
I did invent that layout.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I have it documented. Go back and look at the track drill sheets that I did. 26 ways drill a bowling ball. I did it in 1980.
Technically, what was the first ball with a pin?
They all had pins. You just couldn't see them. You had to find them.
No, I know, but which one actually had like a core that was pinned?
The ultra angle.
Okay, so most people drill it right over the label, right?
Yes.
Technically, pretty much a pin in ball. They're all pretty much all
absolutely right. Yep.
So I guess they were all pin downs back then, weren't they?
Probably right. Yeah. So I invented it then.
Okay.
Yeah. So
good job. Good job with that.
I'll
be sure to change the Wikipedia to edit that in for you.
It's in there.
It's already in there. Yeah. Can we get a fact? Can we get the internet police? The podcast
oh, we got to have the internet police be all over that. Right. Go ahead.
Oh man. Richard says, I heard people comparing the ZigZag to possibly the results. What your thoughts?
I don't know who would have said that, because the only 3 people that threw the ZigZag, 2 of them were here with me, and 1 of them was up in Muskegon.
Yeah, they're called speculations.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where the internet's my favorite thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That ball's orange and black. It must be a cache.
Yeah, just because the color palette is in the same realm does not mean that's what it was.
No, it doesn't compare to the result, because absolutely not. I'll tell you why. And we'll talk about the ball in a little bit. The intermediate diff is a mile away from what the results were. And the total diff is a mile away. If you want to say it's absolutely the furthest comparison.
Aaron wants to know, what does a high intermediate differential do? He might not have been paying attention into the seminar, but we did talk about this. But the highest he's seen is 0.27. Talk about it.
Well, 0.27 is high, but it's not the highest. You look at after drilling on some of those numbers, and we're in the 30s for the intermediate.
Even the ZigZag gets up there. It jumps from 15 to 30.
Yeah, after drilling. What it does is it's the length of your hook window at the end of the pad. And once that ball starts to go out of its skid phase into the hook phase, the intermediate diff tells you how quickly it's going to read that part of the lane. And the higher it is, the sharper and quicker it'll read, and therefore it may shorten your hook window. So if you have a lower speed and the ball's starting to bleed off energy sooner, you're going to have a ball that transitional and rotational energy meet and the ball rolls forward.
Go. NJ says, could you create a 3-ball or even a 6-ball arsenal using only radical? Yes. We've actually done videos on that in the past.
Absolutely.
And we're going to update that again soon when you're here in December.
Right.
You'll be visiting here and we'll do some more video. But yeah, you can definitely make a full arsenal 3-ball or 6-ball using just radical.
Just stick to the categories that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
We have higher diff asymmetricals. We have lower diff asymmetricals, and we have symmetricals that are higher diff and lower diff. So if you take something with a lower diff, like a rattler or a sneak attack, you take something like a crypto boom, which is a higher diff symmetrical. Mm-hmm. You take a outer limit and a hitter, that'll put you in that range pretty good. And then take either a ZigZag and what am I looking for? What's the other one? Oh, let me see. Well, just stick with the ZigZag. Oh no, I'm trying to think of something that's got a higher intermediate diff.
Did you already say katanas?
Yeah, the katanas, right? The katanas have a higher intermediate diff. So there's a 6-ball arsenal right there.
Okay. Chris says, as a high speed and high rev player, he's 20 mile per hour. 480, a high differential with low intermediate and low RG would be best to increase hook window and not roll out. Yes. So lower intermediate will definitely give you that boomerang on the back.
Right.
But as 20 miles per hour off your hand and 480, I would say you're still speed dominant there. 20 miles per hour.
Surface. Right.
Yeah, you're typically, especially when you get on patterns, you're still going to probably need some surface.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on house shots, you can get away with lower intermediate diffs.
Yep.
Lower RG, of course.
Right.
Yeah, and you can use probably a mix of symmetricals and asyms to fit your game, depending on what part of the lane you need to play. So.
Right. Right.
But yeah, you got the right idea. Warren wants to know, do different bowling ball coverage lane shotting more due to the type of conditioner applied to the lane? I would say no. It's typically, a bowling ball is gonna copy whatever the surface of the lane is over time. And the further away it is from that number, say a lane is 4,000 grit. Say it's just put that number out there, it's 4,000. If your ball is, say, 800 grit, it's going to get to that number, appear to get to that number and change more drastic than a ball that's, say, 500, 1,000, 1,500 compound, which is going to be closer to that 4,000 out of the box. So that's why the balls that are shiny don't appear to, lane shine, because they're already shiny. So they're already at that number. So typically, duller balls need more surface and maintenance to stay dull, because as you use them, that's it. They polish up. So,
all balls do that. They don't lane shine. They just smooth out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're basically grinding it against another surface.
And one smoother than the other, so it's going to become the smoother one.
Yep. It's like a whetstone.
It's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
Do we have a giveaway today?
We're doing a giveaway, and we got one more time to post this link.
Woo box.
What are we giving away, Phil?
A wheel. We're giving away the wheel.
We're giving away
one of the items on a wheel that we're going to spin.
Giving away. We got so many good prizes on here. Last week they won shoes.
Yeah.
What did they win the week before that? I forgot.
Chamois.
I think it's chamois. But hey, you got your chance to win one of these prizes. We're going to announce the winner here right after the top of the hour.
Right. We got to talk about that other ball too. The new ball.
I'm going to post the link one last time. You have till the top of the hour to get into that.
And how many people are in it?
We're going to see right now. I'm refreshing. See how many entries we have.
186.
We were just at 190, so keep going. You went backwards. We lost entries.
People withdrew their entries. 206.
We're at 241.
241 is my guess. 241.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 241.
We're definitely maxing out here. And
so here we are. We're back to the election rules where we have more votes than
we have
people.
It's not true. Not true. But we do have to talk about one more thing. But
We
before
do. We're going to talk about the ZigZag, aren't we? Go ahead.
before we get to that, though, we have a top
we
5.
do. We do. We have a top 5. And we got this idea from somebody in the chat last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, didn't we?
Oh, we did.
Okay.
Let's see.
I had nothing to do with this, by the way.
Here we go. Covering his tracks. What a
I'm
corporate.
going to the things you're about to see are not the opinion of the management.
Oh my goodness.
In any way, shape, or form.
So yeah, top 5 things you can say during bowling that you can't say to your spouse.
Oh boy.
If you got any ideas on what the top 5 could be, please put them in.
Yeah, just drop them right in there.
Drop them right in. All right. Number 5. The service here sucks. Definitely can't say that to your spouse.
Try that. Try that at home.
Try that one.
Yeah.
Oh man. Number 4. Yikes. Clean that up. Buddy leaves a split or something nasty out there.
Yeah.
Hey, clean that up.
Clean up that mess.
Number 3.
Number 3.
I think I need something lighter.
Yeah, try that.
Good one.
Yeah.
Number 2. Mind you, these are all in order, numbered perfectly, by the way.
They are. Number 2.
Number 2. My thumb got stuck in it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I hear that at bowling all the time.
You do.
Yep. And the number 1 thing you can say during bowling that you can't say to your spouse. That looks like a terrible rack.
But then you got to put it up, Nick. It's not up.
What?
It's not up. It says 2. Thumb got stuck in it.
Am I losing service or something? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There we go. Yeah. Now it came up. That looks like a third. Was it my computer or yours?
I don't know. Probably mine. We'll see.
Yeah, whatever.
We're getting close to doing a drawing, so you know how it goes.
You have one job to do. You can't do it. And we didn't hear any garbage truck today, except the early one. So let's take a couple of minutes now, if we can, and talk about the ZigZag.
Is that what you want to do?
I think we have to. Isn't that part of the show today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So the ZigZag is another computer-generated chord that we're using here. Differential of 2.50, differential of 0.045, and an intermediate of 0.015. There's a 3-to-1 ratio between the diff and the intermediate diff. That's part 1. So that we have a ball with HK22 hybrid on it. So the HK22 is a little bit more of a projection type cover stock. So we put a little hybrid, made it a little more friction. So it reads a little sooner than HK22 does. But here's the strong part about this thing. You got an intermediate diff of 0.15. So now you're going to have a longer hook window. Again, after you drill it, the number goes up. But if you started out with an 0.20 and drilled it, it might got to 0.35 or 0.40. So the intermediate diff is still stays at a moderate number, but the total diff is not that high. So what you're not going to get is a ball that wants to read sooner and burn up and peel bleed off energy. So now here's what we did: we took an 0.45 total diff, and we put a little more aggressive cover on it. If it was 0.45 with HK22. Just regular HK22, it might have went too long. We know it went too long. We tested it. So by putting the hybrid on the 0.45 diff, it gave the ball a chance to pop down lane. Now, by having a lower intermediate diff, we lengthen the hook window. So now you got a ball that gets through the front, HK22 hybrid, but has more friction because of the cover off the spot, but it has a lower differential, so it's not going to bleed off right away. And then you have a lower intermediate diff. So when you take a look at the whole package, you end up with a ball that is going to be a house shot killer. It'll be a benchmark asymmetrical. First ball out of your bag. Obviously for Seth, who shot 801 last night, it's his first ball out of his bag.
Only ball out of his bag.
Only ball out of his bag. Right. And again, it's a lot of science involved and a lot of technology involved put in place. The 0.45 total diff and the 0.15 intermediate diff is a good combination, provided you had the right cover stock on it. Mm-hmm. We put the right cover stock on it by taking a blend of HK22 and making it a little bit stronger so that it compensates for the lower diff, but it doesn't do it until down lane. If we had put an aggressive cover on it, it would have started bleeding sooner. If we had a higher differential, it would have started bleeding sooner. Our goal was to hit that sweet spot down the lane where the ball has enough energy to create a big enough impact angle versus entry angle. Now, Nick mentioned it earlier. The throwback video is going to be out tomorrow.
Nick, the what?
Throwback video?
For what?
For the ZigZag. Is it out today?
It's already out. It was out yesterday.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so
I had one job and I did it.
Had one job. And what you'll find out, one of the things we talk about is we don't have any numbers because for some reason, Specto, which is the data collecting tool we use, did not read the ball. It either blended in with the background of the wall behind it, or for some other reason, those colors didn't get picked up. So we don't have the numbers to validate what I'm saying. I just made all this up. Is what apparently that's what it's going to tell you. Well, people will post that hey, they didn't like the numbers, so they didn't want to post them, whatever. That's not true. We had trouble with Specto not reading the ball.
Yeah, it read the low speed, low rev player for like the first two shots.
Yeah.
But then after looking at the data, after that, the mid range speed person did not read at all. And I'm talking to Phil the whole time, and I'm screaming because Specto's just not picking up the data. We have this brick wall. Or not brick, it's like stone, but right behind lane 6, and it just wasn't reading it. And the couple of shots it did read, it definitely was not correct. It would go down the lane at 45 feet and go straight line from 45 to hit the 6 pin, on the graph there. So I was like,
and we knew it wasn't hitting it because it was knocking the pins over in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to watch the video, and I talk about it a little bit on what the difference was. One of the biggest difference we saw with this ball and other balls that we had that was closer was the difference between pin down and pin up.
Yeah.
There was a bigger difference in ball motion because of the total diff versus the intermediate diff ratio. So again, we're putting a lot more science in. I challenge you to find this information from other ball companies. I'm not sure they're going to do it. I don't think they know it. So we challenge you to find it. We do scientific, sciencey things.
Yeah, just call them on their 800 numbers and ask what the after drill number is on a pin-up layout for whatever ball you're interested in. See what you get.
See what you get. In our case, you don't have to even call it. Just go to our website. It's on there.
Yeah, on the resources down below each ball, you can find all the information.
Yeah. So, and again, let's just talk about that real quick. Why that's such an advantage. If you have a ball you like, and if it's a radical ball, and you want to find a new ball that'll give you similar performance because that ball may not be around anymore, just go look at the drill sheet and look at the after drilling numbers of the ball you had.
Yeah.
And then look at the current balls in the line and look at their after drilling sheets. And then you might have to adjust the surface. But you're going to have core dynamics that are the same after drilling.
Right. And also pick a cover that's relatively similar. So if it was a pearlized ball in a high differential, medium, intermediate asim, then find one that's like that.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah. So again, the ZigZag is that ball, one of those balls that we lowered the intermediate diff. The other two balls that just came out recently with lower intermediate diff was the hitter and the outer limits. And there's a good step up from the three balls. If you want to talk about the hitter being the strongest of the three, because it's more mid-lane, because it has a higher total diff and a stronger cover, whereas the outer limits has about the same total diff, about the same intermediate diff, but a different cover on it. And then you look at the ZigZag, has a lower total diff, the same intermediate diff, and a hybrid cover. So there's a good combination if you want to talk about three asymmetrical balls. But again, look at what we just talked about and apply it to what we talked about earlier in that little seminar that we did, and you'll get a better understanding of why some of the radical balls are better technology-wise. It's what we put into it is what you get out of it.
All right. Ready for the lightning round of questions?
I'm ready.
We're like a half hour behind on questions. We're just going to go through the chat, and we're just going to... We had a lot of information going out one way, so we didn't take a whole lot of questions or anything like that. But we're going to do the lightning round.
Lightning round. Yes.
All right.
No.
All right. Many of your ASIMs have a knob or protrusion at the mass bias. How does that drilling through that change the intermediate and the asymmetry with the flat spot at the.
Yeah, it does a lot. That's why we put it in there. Give you more drilling options. If you drill in between the knobs, you're not going to alter it that much, but you drill into the knob, and our drill sheets will tell you that you're going to change the diffs and the intermediate diff and the total diff a lot.
Yep. All right. And Jay says, if I use my PAP and got the deviate calculator to give me the layout for the troublemaker, would it be bad to use for other balls? No, it actually will work to get your layouts right for other bowling balls, but the numbers are all specific to the troublemaker. So all the after drill numbers are based on that core and that core design only. But you can definitely use that to get your numbers, your dual angled numbers for your layouts if you're looking for something different on a different ball. But yeah, it works on symmetric balls only at this time. Let's see. What did he say? I like to see a one-hand, no-thumb bowler on your reviews. Gives me a better idea of what I might expect. Well, the good thing is that Throwbot doesn't have any fingers or any thumbs. We just drill it in there to go off of the sheets. The sheets are drilled off of a full fingertip bowler.
Yeah, so Keanu Rev's type of guy is more like a beast, a two-hander.
Yeah.
I hate when you chuckle before you put one up.
I laugh at the things before. I'm trying to, Hutch is here, and I'm definitely getting in. I'm not a staff. I love the back and forth from you guys. The ZigZag would be the best compared to what other asym hybrid ball on the market?
That's my answer. That's my answer.
Nothing?
No. It's new.
Yeah.
It's a new design, new technology. We come up, look at the 3-to-1 ratios on the intermediate diff to the total diff. Getting the combination of total diff to how much intermediate diff there is in the cover stock and the drilling and where you could put the holes. No, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. I think you'll find, Hutch, that compared to like an outer limit, you'll see more length, especially you ball on quite a bit of friction down there. You'll probably see more length, more flip on the same pattern. That's my guess if you're putting them heads up one on another.
Yeah, it's going to have everything down lane. That was why we designed it. But house shot bowlers are going to love this ball because it's not going to go early and it's not going to flat 10 when you get it to the right.
Yeah, Brian wants to know, how do you compare the double X to the new blue? One's urethane
and one is not.
Yeah, I mean, the new blue is designed to be like urethane motion. So, if you have a double X, you're probably going to see similar to what we saw in the purple versus the new blue, where the purple just starts up a little bit sooner.
Right.
New blue gets a little bit longer. We've seen that consistently from pretty much every reviewer out there so far. Yep. So you probably won't see much difference in the two balls in that comparison. So same thing, a little more length. Corbin, urethane applies to regional. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that rule goes into effect January 6th.
January 6th. Yep. After the whatever that tournament they have in
RPI.
The RPI. Yeah.
Yep. David says 2 weeks ago I pulled out the purple hammer. Team next to me were heckling me. You're using a legal ball. Went out and shot 299 in the first game. That's the way to shut them up.
And you ask him if you like apples.
How you like them apples?
How do you like them apples?
Corbin says, no, the ebonite purples can't be used in the league. That is not true. The 6s and 7s cannot, but the purples made from ebonite were also up until 2019. So there's 18s and 19s there as well. So only the 6s and 7s, and those are pretty much all have been replaced.
Yep, we got a lot of them back, right? If not all.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot out there because, believe it or not, the purple hammer didn't actually start selling very well until a couple of years after it was released.
Right.
So it didn't really catch fire until
PBA made it popular by putting it on TV every week.
Now it's infamous.
And now it's infamous.
We'd love to thank the PBA for all the extra sales we've gotten.
Right. And now they're going to try to take them all back.
The best marketing that money can buy.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Going down. So is Brunswick as a whole going to step away from urethane? No, absolutely not.
No,
Purple hammers will still be made
and be selling.
And there will be likely a ball that will conform to the new PBA rule. Just wait and see.
You'll see. We got stuff going on. That's what we do. We work.
Let's see. I'm going down the list fast here.
All right. I believe
Yeah.
you.
So Wayne says, so you're saying my ball at the pin 1650 is what, 18 to 20? It's probably over 20 off your hand there. If you're 16 and a half at the pins, yeah, you're throwing it probably over 20 miles
Yeah.
an hour.
And let me, I don't know this. Is all of the finders, the speed measuring devices the same? The difference off the hand versus the down lane?
I think they are, because all the same cameras that pick up the pin spots,
Yeah.
I think are the same ones that do the radar and the pins or on the ball as it goes by.
Okay.
So I'm almost 100%.
It doesn't matter
sure.
whether it's a
I don't think it matters whether you're at Brunswick
or
AMF or
AMF.
miscellaneous.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. High speed, high rev. Let's see. Strange. Sorry, I'm going through these. If we miss some of them, Phil always gets back there and
I try to go through them and see if I answered it or not. And if we did, may have to go back and look it up. But if not, I try to answer them.
mm-hmm.
You know.
Let's see. All right. Scott wants to know, does sneak attack drilled short pin have any chance of resembling the reaction of urethane, or is it all about cover?
It's a lot about cover. Yeah, with the short pin drillings get you closer. You know, and obviously the problem with a sneak attack doing a short pin is you're probably going to get, the early roll like you want. But if you got to move in off that, it's not going to work. You got to use something with a little stronger core.
Yeah.
And short pin it.
I mean, the pros typically don't use it because they're still responsive. It's still a reactive cover stock. It's still a strong cover.
Yep.
You might be killing the flare with a short pin, but you're still having all that cover stock strength. So you can get a smoother motion, sure, but it's not urethane.
No.
Rakeem, is it crazy to use the same layout in every ball?
Absolutely not. That's not crazy. That's not crazy.
A lot of people do it. I mean, I have one or two layouts I use. I'm pretty much going to use the same layout and vary the ball's surface. And, the bowling balls are inherently different with how they're produced. So, no.
Yeah. I drill all my symmetricals the same.
Yeah.
And now I drill my asymmetricals with the drill pattern that I invented, the pin down drill pattern. It's my asymmetricals. Get that.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even hear me what I said, did you?
No. I'm just going through comments.
I know you are. I said I drill all my symmetricals the same, and my asymmetricals I drill with my newly invented pin down drilling that I invented.
So it wasn't much to listen to. Got it.
Yeah, got it. There you go.
Will you be posting the presentation from earlier? It's great information. Yeah, we'll clip it off at some point. We'll post it on YouTube as a separate video. But you can always refer back to these podcasts that are all live stream, but they are up there afterwards for everybody to watch. So they're all categorized in numbers.
How many people?
We got 291 waiting to do the spin the wheel.
291. We're not going to get to 300.
I guess not. We're teetering. We're 293 right now total. So yeah,
come on, go get somebody else to log on.
Log in twice. I know some of you guys have burner accounts.
Yeah, there you go.
Garrett says he sent me a proof that Phil invented it, talking about the pin down layout. Thank you, Garrett. We'll check that out. Oh man. Will the new blue hammer be similar arson low flare? No. The cover stock is so much different on the new blue hammer. It's unlike anything. I mean, the arson low flare, they might flare the similar amounts, but the cover stock's so different. So I would say no. Yeah, here we go. Dave says did a demo with Parker Bone the third. He had all his bowling balls drilled the same. He had all the different balls from different families. Yeah, if I know Parker, it's pin over the ring finger about 1 inch up. Back in the day, he used to use an extra hole sometimes and sometimes not, but he pretty much put the pin in the same spot and let the differences of the ball do all the work.
So if you all do that, you'll become Hall of Famers. The end.
So drilled the same. A Hall of Famer does it. You should too.
Throw them the same. Make good shots. And,
you said we weren't going to get to 300, and now we're down at 270. Good job, Phil. You chased them away.
Oh, man. Where'd they go? How are they going to know if they won? That's it. Next week, you got to be in it to win it.
Gordon says, I need a ball down from my counterattack pearls reactive. Do you think a winker layout on something like a twist? Yeah, I mean, either that, or if you need a step down from counterattack pearl, you're probably looking twist, or even the new axe from Hammer.
Yeah, I heard that's a good ball, the axe.
Yeah. That one has basically the same core as a plastic ball, but it has a very, very hard resin cover stock. Right. So take a look at the axe as well. I mean, twist is good too. and that might be what you're into, but it might not be as much as you need it to be down from a counterattack pearl, because counterattack pearl doesn't have a whole lot of differential to begin with. So
No.
if you're looking for something just true burn, desert scorched earth, I would say axe
Or the spy.
All
the
right.
laser drive.
Oh, man. Let's see. Tim
Or
says,
the
I purchased
spy.
16 balls in less than 2 years. Do I have a problem, or do I average 170? I don't think you have a problem. I mean, it's
Where do I average 170?
it's a health it's a healthier obsession than meth, I guess, right?
It's a good comparison right there. That's good. There you go. You can either be a meth
Yeah, people are,
head or
hey,
buy
why do you spend so much money on golf? And it's like, well, because it's
cheaper.
a lot healthier than meth.
Yeah, it might be a little cheaper too.
All right. All right.
All right. I think it's
one more
time.
question for
All right, one
you
more
here. I'm
question.
gonna find, and I'm gonna.
All right.
Yeah, you got the specs in front of you. Don wants to know, I'm late to the party, traveling to Florida. I'm gonna put the ZigZag back up there.
Yeah, there we
Talk
go.
about
So
the specs more.
yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it. So 2.50, 0.45, and intermediate diff of 0.15. Notice the ratio between the total diff and the intermediate diff is 3-to-1. We found that with the combination we put together, the total diff and the intermediate diff ratio plus the hybrid HK22 cover allowed the ball to have a strong enough cover where it would get through the front part, because HK22 put a little hybrid in it so it reads the friction, kept the total diff down so the ball doesn't want to go and bleed off energy too soon. And the lower intermediate diff of 0.15 made it a longer hook window. So you had the perfect house ball killer. I mean, it's just, Seth threw it last night on a house shot. It shot 800 out of the box with it. It's just one of those balls that when you throw it, you go, man, it did everything right. And that's what we designed. The computer generated stuff that we're doing right now. It just hits everything right on the head. Again, the hitter, the outer limits, these are all coming from the same type of analysis and the same type of concept. So it's hitting them out of the park.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have selected a winner.
And the winner is...
Hold on, I'm typing it out.
I'll bang slower.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Are we ready?
We're ready. Who's the winner?
Spin the wheel. Who's going to be the winner?
Who's the winner? Who is it?
We have the winner. The winner this week is Brandon Leonard. Brandon.
Oh, Brandon Leonard.
He was in the chat earlier. I saw him ask a question. So
is he in there now?
Is Brandon still here? Brandon. We're going to get a spin of the wheel.
Brandon.
Post in there if you're here. Let me know what you're hoping to win.
I would be hoping
we're going to
win
spin this wheel here. So the winner last week, Scott Bridgman, says 2 first names. He can't be trusted. He's on. He's like he needs a hitter. He wants to win the ball.
Is he in? He's in?
Buddy, hold on. Are we cutting out? Is this happening again?
No, yeah, I could see you.
Okay, we're good. Okay, you cut out for a split second. I thought.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Are we ready?
Go ahead. I'm ready.
Big spin. Here we go.
Spin,
Good
hard
luck,
spin.
Brandon.
Hey, don't hurt yourself. Don't pull an oblique muscle or anything.
Nice.
Jammy. Oh.
What do you win? A set of Sia Air pads. That's awesome.
That's a good thing,
Brandon,
to win.
Sia Air pads, you're going to have a whole set of Sia Air pads from the lowest grit we have to the highest grit. I'm going to make a pack for you. I'm going to reach out after this so you can get into surfacing in surface management. We talked a little bit about that, picking a ball to match up for surface.
That's right.
So we're going to set a whole set of Sia Air pads. I think they go down from like 360 and they go all the way up to 4,000. So
yeah, they have one.
It's going to be actually
a rock on a
screen.
piece of paper. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So Brandon says, nice. I use them a ton. Well, I'm glad, buddy. So I'm going to build that pack.
Set. Yeah, Nick will build it. He'll sign one of them for you.
Oh, jeez. I'll sign your name on it.
Nice.
So I'll reach out to you after the show with the email that you provided there, and then get your mailing address, and I'll get those shipped out to you, buddy.
Perfect.
So
glad you won today, Brandon. Maybe next time you'll win another present.
Yeah, he's a big supporter. Glad you won. See him every week.
Yeah,
he's very active on on all sorts of stuff. So appreciate all the support there, Brandon. Congratulations. And for everybody else, we had a great show. We had a lot of information. We didn't get to everybody's comments, but Phil has got one job, and he's going to go back and
I will. I'll look at them. Before I forget, make sure you guys sign up for the fan group with James Bryant. They do a lot of good information in there. A lot of the stuff we put up, somebody's already got the answers before we even get to it. Do that. Nick is going to peel out that segment that we had and put it up on YouTube somewhere along the line. So we'll have it.
We're going to have to, because we are all out of Radical Rundown content.
We are for the next couple of weeks.
Yep. So Phil will be here sometime in December, and we'll be able to.
I go there for the weather.
Yes.
You know, most people from there go south. I am a moron. I go north.
You're a reverse snowbird. So you and Panici can wave as
we
go
pass
by on the
each
plane.
other on. Yeah, exactly.
In the air at 35,000 feet.
Hi, Jim. Nick, thanks again. Check out that video. I think Lorenzo puts it up somewhere. I know I shared it. So I don't know if when I share something, is it on my page or something? How's that work? I don't even know.
I think you just shared it to your own personal profile. So no, it's not on your page.
Can you do it? Can you put it somewhere?
Probably not.
No, probably not.
No. If Lorenzo can send it to the through the jot form, that would probably be easiest for me.
He knows about that.
I mean, you can just send him the link. You know him, right?
He's a staffer. Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, Lorenzo, put it through the staffer video form. There's the link in the staff group.
And then we'll put it up, and you can see Seth throwing a bunch of shots. Once in his life, he looked like he was repeating shots, or Seth bot, we call him.
Because it was all the same shot. That's why it looks the same.
The same shot. Yeah, he just kept, he what did they linked it? It was like a loop. But you can see it was pretty interesting. We very rarely see somebody bowl 800 just about every shot.
Yeah.
You know, it was 26 shots or something like that. So it's pretty cool. Nick, thank you again. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We got to 293. We didn't get to 300, did we?
No, we didn't get over 300.
Oh, man.
I'll double check the peak numbers, but I wasn't paying attention the entire time. But yeah, 293, I think.
Yeah, we know you weren't paying attention.
So I got ADD. What do you want?
You got 8 ADD, HD ADD.
Yeah, that one. That thing.
By definition, ADD. I'll call you later.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you guys. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next week.
Bye.